Subscribe if you know what's good for you.
Calling the Krugade podcast. Calling the Krugade podcast. You are wanted in Sector 7. You are wanted in Sector 7. Immediately.
Decoding memory banks.
Whoa.
Dude, turn your webcam off.
Hey,
Oh,
dude.
no.
What's up,
You can
guys?
see me.
Hey,
I just
man.
got out of the shower.
Is this a face reveal?
Right?
I
Are we
guess it
finally
is.
putting stuff pictures to the voices?
Now we can, be famous now.
Now I can when I'm talking I can go aliens.
Did you see my curtain move? My fan is off. You guys see my curtain?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
The fan is
Yeah,
on the
move.
fan. Sweet. That's
Oh,
in the video.
Okay.
Looks like there's ghosts.
This house has been haunted. Has been haunted? Is haunted.
Yeah,
Not
it's
so.
haunted. Yeah, I know. I know.
You know, I was remembering that time. I also had a meeting today, and one of the questions they had asked was, "What's one thing, or like say something that stood out, or something you witnessed in your life?" And everybody, I don't know, it was like, "Oh, I witnessed people fighting, or whatever, and I witnessed this." Elsa's thing was like, she's like, "Oh, and they like it stood out the most because she's like, I witnessed a tug of war against professional wrestlers and lions." And
I
and
know.
so everybody was like, "Oh," so but I was more like I was hoping they'd be like, "Oh, I witnessed the ghost," and that started reminding me of the time when we stayed the night at my house like years ago, and we had been so like used to Adrian like leaving in the mornings whenever we stayed a night at someone's house, except his house.
Yeah.
But Adrian was like the first one to leave in the morning, so I
True.
was like, it was like a winter night, and we had the heater on and everything, and on my door there's like this little gap where like the hot air would leave, so I would put like a towel under there so the heat wouldn't leave. And Adrian's was used to just leaving. He wouldn't say, "Oh, bye guys, I'm leaving." He would just leave. And one of the times, it was like 4 or 5 in the morning, Adrian like, or not Adrian, in this case Adrian woke up and he opened my door, and I guess to say bye, and I was still asleep, but like I kind of like had my head laid to the side, and like I want to like my eye just opened barely, and like I could barely make out somebody at the door, and then they closed the door, and then they walked down my hall and then walked out, like the footsteps stopped, and so I was like, "What? Who's up? Why are they walking in?" And I was kind of like, "Oh, they moved the towel." So I got up to see like who it was. I walked down the hall to where you guys are sleeping at in the living room, and Adrian was still there. Everybody was still, sleeping, and I was like, I didn't think anything of it, and so I went back to bed. And then I was like, kind of like, well, whatever, forget it. And in the morning, I remember Alex was like, "What were you doing walking around at 5 in the morning?" I was like, "One of you guys was up, and you guys opened my door." And then everybody was like, "No, nobody woke up. Like, no one was up." So I was like, someone opened my door, because my door opened and my towel moved. I know that's why I got out of bed. And that was it. No one ever knew what came of that. Nothing has ever happened yet in this house. So that was my
Yeah, I know.
scary story for the day.
I remember that. There was actually another incident there when you and Marco were living together, and then we were where Marco's room used to be, and then we heard like, oh, it was me and Mikey in that room where Marco used to live in.
Yeah.
And then we had heard some like a scream, but it wasn't from outside, but it was like a faint scream, like a girl scream. So it was like weird, and Mikey and I both looked at each other, and we just like ran out of the room. Like,
I've never heard you guys say that, and my stepmom actually has said she's heard little girls screaming in the back before, like when because this room I'm staying in now is where my parents used to stay in, and she used to hear babies crying and stuff like that. But like I had, well, maybe not at the time because these kids are like, I don't know, elementary age, so like either fifth or sixth graders, but they live like right behind my house, and they're always screaming at nothing. They scream like bloody murder. And one time I went to go look, and they were throwing a big ass teddy bear into the sky, and every time it would like drop to the ground, they're like, ah! And I was just like,
like the little chicken doll that when you squeeze it, it screams.
dude, even worse than that chicken, dude. Even worse than that. Oh my gosh, like no joke. It's just kind of like, and all like kids moved into like the neighborhood now. It's like I have kids behind me, the left of my house. I have a Chihuahua that, well, he didn't move in, but his people moved in.
You brought it back.
Dude, sometimes I think because that's the only thing I see that ever comes in and out of that house is that Chihuahua. But there's so much noise in my house. But you know what's weird is that like where I live, it's so like echoey, like you can hear everything. Like I can hear my neighbors talking or singing or whatever, even if they're like talking like how we and you are right now. If and you can hear like in the house, and you're like me and Elsa, like we have like an AC unit like in our living room, and like the little like this little like vent that opens to like an outside. Like sometimes it will just be there in our ear and like, ooh, cheese me.
Cheese me.
You just hear what they're saying.
Yeah, but then it's kind of funny because like sometimes like when my stepmom used to be here, she used to like talk a lot of smack about like everybody and even like the neighbors, and it's like it's like I wonder if they're hearing what they're saying. Maybe that's why they play the music super loud every day.
Yeah,
they're probably
them, like,
those
yelling.
guys.
Dude, those guys, I don't think they know what freaking coronavirus is, man. They're always hanging out.
Really?
It's so annoying. Yeah, they're always partying, yelling, and sometimes there's this one guy. I don't know if he's half human, half bird, but he every time you just randomly throughout the day you just hear like, woo, like 1,000 times a day, and it's like no music. It could just be like a quiet afternoon. We're cleaning the house, whatever, and then just woo. And it's like, oh, my gosh.
What is he wooing at?
Dude, I don't know, man. There's no music. They're always drunk, so maybe, I don't know. Or maybe he saw the sun coming up and he's like, I don't know.
Is he what's his name? Oh, the damn guy that sings that. I don't even know the other guy's name.
Yep.
How does it go? How does the song go?
Yes.
If you can't hear what I'm trying to do, I know you want me. Uh-huh. What's that damn song? It's a rap song. I don't know what the hell the name of it is.
You're looking at the two people who listen to rap the most.
I gotta know what this is.
Well, maybe not, but either way, yeah, that we have to deal with that. So it's like
Blurred Lines. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
by Robin Thicke.
Robin
There-
Thicke.
Yeah.
What's his name? There you go. Now it's coming back to me. Pharrell Williams. He goes, "Oh," or some weird crap.
I think,
During that song.
maybe my owner, maybe my neighbor is Michael Jackson reincarnated or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Yes, because he's like, woo, hee hee, and we don't hear that part.
He's the Mexican Michael Jackson.
Yeah. Dude, that guy's so weird too. Like sometimes he's playing like super like reggaeton, like crazy, like baile music, and then like the next song is like country music. and then it's like crazy country, like it's such a, and then the song after that is something from the 80s, and it's like, okay, this guy's kind of cool, he's playing some cool, and then like it goes back to like Spanish music, and it's like, dude, like you can't jam out to anything that's like, I don't know, maybe there's people who like all that music at the same time, but like I'm not that kind of
So you
guy.
got the same problem. You got the same problem that Mikey has. Remember, he used to complain. I don't know if he still does, but he used to complain about a neighbor who would like, he'd go from like bachata to like the complete opposite. The next complete opposite of the spectrum, like George Strait after that.
Nah,
Yeah.
yeah, baby,
How,
maybe.
out of those, maybe it's the same guy.
As I said, oh, maybe Mikey lives next to me. I don't know. Mikey.
That's actually more common here, right? That they
Yeah,
would like switch from
Yeah.
banda
It's
to
weird though,
country.
because if you see like like I don't really, well, I'm gonna judge somebody, but I usually don't like to judge somebody. But if you look at some, like if you saw him, you were like, nah, this guy just listens to Spanish stuff. Like you wouldn't think like he even plays country. And then they always do karaoke too, so he's there singing like, whoa. He sounds like the freaking Tiger King, man.
uh,
Okay. So, Mike, speaking about how you were talking about complaining about your neighbors, I want to complain about something. So I've been the Star Wars, Jedi Fallen Order game, and I know at first I said that like it was weird, right? The combat was janky and all that stuff, but I mean it still is. Combat's still a little bit janky, but so I finished it, and I'm about to spoil it for you, Mike. So I'm sorry, but so well, I guess this will give you motivation, right, to play it to the end. At the end, Darth Vader comes out, right? So there you go,
Oh,
your
canon.
favorite.
Cool.
So you'll want to play it. So, but the
wow, dude, I
story,
don't want to play it anymore.
the story is that like he's this kid, right? He's looking for a holocron, which is that contains a list of the next generation of Jedi, right? Because the orders and they're trying to rebuild. And okay, but then at the end, he like I don't know what, like I guess nobody ever posed the question to him, but he's isn't you going after the list that nobody can get to except a Jedi, and no Jedi will go for it because they're gonna protect it, right? Isn't you going for the list gonna put all these kids in danger from the Empire? And like obviously, yeah, right? Like you would think like if he has the list, then and he opens the holocron because only a Jedi can open it, or some a Force user. I don't know if it's specific to Jedi, but he'll put all the kids on the list in jeopardy, right, from the Empire that are gonna hunt them down and probably kill them. So once you get that at the end, he just destroys, and I'm just like, well, okay, so you went on that whole long journey just to destroy it because like the thing is hidden, right? So nobody's gonna find it. The only people that know about it are like were the elder Jedi that are already dead because of the Executive Order 66. So they're all gone. So nobody was ever going to be able to find it. But somehow, you track down these clues from a Jedi, from an old Master Jedi that was trying to find it but never was able to find it. And so you find it, and then you just destroy it. I feel like it would have been a lot easier just to leave it where it is, and then just make a different story. But yeah, apparently they just went that route, and then you find it, and then you destroy the holocaust. So basically, all of that was just for nothing. So that was my complaint.
I think like based on what you're saying, from a common sense standpoint, it sounds stupid. You know what I mean? For him to go on that long journey.
I mean,
but
if you think about it, there's not that's like a very common story. Like other franchises and stuff. I can't think of any now. But I that's not like an uncommon thing for like you go through all this and then nothing happens.
Yeah,
It's
I think that's where actually the Star Wars Clone Wars, the animated, it hints about that. It hints about the holocron with the list of the future generation of Jedi. I don't know if it actually goes into it because I haven't gone that far. I'm still at the beginning. Um, but yeah, like it's just weird that that's
Yeah,
the
the the theme. You know, it's funny. I was actually thinking about watching the Clone Wars animated stuff because I was telling like like we're trying to I was trying to get like Elsa to watch like more stuff, you know, because we usually we're watching like Netflix stuff,
Mhm.
and like it's you know I was kind of like, you know what, I kind of want to watch anime, and then you know we watched the rest of My Hero Academia, and then I was like, you know what, we can go through the whole Dragon Ball route, but you know it, there's a lot of episodes, man. There's a lot. It's 281
Yeah,
episodes in the Z. There's another 281 in Super. Um, and like, man, it sucks. Just the like the pacing of, especially the Frieza saga, dude. It's just like
oh
it's so like Elsa was getting fed up. She's like, "Wow, they never killed this guy. When did you go Super Saiyan? Oh my god!" I was like, it's look, it's
yeah, it drags on.
it's dragged so much. I promise you though, the next seasons aren't gonna be like this one. For some reason, they just couldn't keep up with the manga, and they just were like, "Let's just take this thing that would have lasted 5 minutes, take 12 episodes." So it's just like, man, it just dragged on, and you can tell, like, you know, I was like, so it's kind of like, you know, now I'm kind of like, do we watch something else? Do we continue? But she's like, no, let's just finish it. I want to finish it. I was like, you're not gonna finish it. She's like, if we binge it in a day, you think we'll finish it? I was like, no, we won't. We'll get to like 20
you'll get burnt
episodes.
out.
I was like, yeah. So I was like, I don't know. So that was actually one thing on my list of what I wanted to watch, because you know we watched The Mandalorian, we watched Rogue One, and you know you kind of like they hint at stuff that happens in the Clone Wars. Characters come out that were in the Clone Wars, so it's like, all right,
Mhm.
all right, all right, fine, I'll watch it. It's another one of those things where it's like I didn't want to watch it because it's like I don't want to watch everything all Star Wars. I don't want to be that Star Wars nerd. But now if it's canon, I mean, why not? I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially because they hint at, well, I don't know, I saw it in Facebook, so I don't know how true it is, but they're like hinting that Ahsoka from the Clone
Oh
Wars
yeah,
is coming out
she's
in the
gonna come
Mandalorian.
out. Mandalorian.
Yeah, so
Hmm.
it's like,
There's
uh,
Anakin's Padawan.
yeah, so I want to see who she is and all that. I don't know who she is. I know she's Anakin's Padawan. I've seen a couple clips of her, but you know, it's whatever. But it's one of the things
Yeah.
on my list to watch. And then I turned on the Fallen Order yesterday. I was gonna play it while I edited the podcast that came out today that we're recording this. And
Hmm.
like yesterday, I was free for like a good 6 hours, and I was like, let's record and let's play a game. You know, whatever. Like, let's do that. But there were so many technical difficulties. I don't know who's already listened to it because it has blown up 50 views today, and that's a lot for one of our podcasts to get that much, which I'm glad. I'm
Yeah.
happy. I don't know who's watching, but thank you for watching. But it's like, you know, I turned it on and I was like, you know what, I'll finally give this a shot. I really want to play this game. It was mad reviews, and then you gave it a great review last podcast. I was like, oh, I'm gonna play it now. And so I'm even knowing that I'll still play it. I just gotta know when I have motivation to play, because
Yeah.
me and single players, I don't know what it is, but
It's a good time wasting single player. I'll give it that. Like if you want some, like, because sometimes you just need that like platformer RPG type game. That's just one and done. Like you play it, you beat the story, and you're done with it. Sometimes you just need one of those games, and that's a pretty good game to do
True.
that too.
I'll give it a shot. I'll see when I have more time. Maybe when I edit this next one.
Yeah.
Which
Also,
I'll see how it is, because this is video. Woo, you can see what we're doing.
Also, I jumped on that. I don't know if you guys gonna hate me for this, but I jumped on the Animal Crossing
This
hype
guy.
train.
Wow.
Yeah. I
Get out
did.
of
I
here!
did.
Get out! Get out!
The
It's
only
good.
reason I'm gonna hate you for it is because I can't get a Switch and buy that game too. So that's the only reason why I'm gonna hate you for it.
Yeah, it's pretty fun, dude. Honestly, I was like hesitant at getting it, but Miranda bought a Switch before we went into quarantine. She got a Switch Lite, and then she bought Animal Crossing, and she was playing it. And then she kept telling me all these things about it, right? So I was like, okay, fine. So I started looking at, and I was watching these videos, and then I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll buy it on my Switch because I had the Switch already, but I didn't have the game, so I just downloaded it on the Switch, and I'm addicted to that game, honestly. Like,
This guy.
it's good for right now that we're in quarantine because it gives you a bunch of like, you know, menial tasks to get through the day, and so in this time
Yeah.
that's exactly what you need,
And
something to get your mind out of
yeah.
stuff.
See, like Elsa's birthday is coming up uh this Tuesday, and one of the things I had wanted to buy her was the Switch. That was gonna be the one thing I bought with my stimulus check, but no one has it. It's not even in stock. Nintendo's not releasing anymore, and
Yeah.
it's like you go on the Target or Walmart, like where they can ship it to the store. But like people are selling it, and it's like $500. And it's like, what? It's
Yeah,
like, dude, price
dude,
gouging. Report,
I know,
government, report
man.
them.
Nintendo made a fucking killing in
I
March,
know,
man.
man, dude.
It's
I
like,
honestly was like I'm trying to get that. I wanted to get another webcam for the, for this, and luckily I have one. Dude, this is so old. I don't even know. It looks like it's 480p. So like it, whatever. But I don't know, the things people bought in mass. It's like, it's crazy.
yeah.
I noticed the same thing. The Xbox, they put it on sale. The Xbox One X, they put it on sale from $399 to $299. The minute they did that, their sales went through the roof. Like everything is sold out. And then they did it like right before lockdown happened, so they knew it was coming and they
Yeah.
did it. So they were smart. Their Xbox One X sales are like through the roof. Even Xbox period sales, I couldn't find like their sales period. I couldn't find one. I was looking for a Minecraft one for Lauren since her birthday's tomorrow. I couldn't find one Xbox One S. I couldn't find one like anywhere, so I had to order it off of eBay. You know what I mean?
Oh, I haven't checked
Uh,
eBay. Maybe I could
so-
find a
Not
Switch on
even-
eBay.
Yeah, not even on the actual Microsoft store.
Out of stock.
Well,
Man, it's crazy, man. I don't know. I don't know. It just is upsetting. Because I wanted to get a webcam before all this, not because of I knew this was coming, but I don't want to look like Pixel Alex over here. On the
yeah,
side
I'm
by
using
side,
the
you look
laptop.
pixely, but
I'm just using the laptop
I
camera.
figured
Shit.
before all this happened, right before, I was like, you know what? It would have been best to like get a webcam. We can, But I didn't have that money to spare. Now it's like we're not spending any money, so like we have a lot like money that's saved up. So it's like, wow, okay, we actually aren't broke. We just one of us has a spending habit. So it's like so now it's like I told her, I was like, hey, can I buy a webcam? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, cool. And I was looking on Amazon, and it's like, it won't be in stock till March 8th. Won't be in stock till this day. And I was like, do I buy one and then just run the risk that it get here March 8th or whatever? I see some pretty good ones that are 1080p. They're cheap ones. I really don't want to spend like $100 on a webcam. I don't know because they weren't that much before I looked into before all this. They weren't that high. They weren't $100, $200. They were like 40, 50. And at the time for me that was like, oh, I don't want to. That's a lot of money to dish out on a cool little webcam. So I'm seeing some that are like $100. They're 1080. Maybe now I can kind of like get one, and then like I actually will need one for my work. So it's like, it seems like a good investment for this, and a good investment for work.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because we had a if if this continues to like the next school year, the school is already preparing for another, like, if we have to go into online teaching again, like we're like the senator already closed the governor already closed the school year for the rest of the year. So like, and my school was like the district, they weren't ready for online teaching, and like you still have teachers struggling to do all that. So like for me, it's like I have my computers, I have my mic, I did a video for my students, like with just my phone, recording, putting it together, putting music, putting sound clips, voiceover. I did it all on my phone. I think there's resources out there, and like these teachers aren't using it, but I mean, most teachers that are in my district are older people. It's true,
Gotta
man.
be careful.
It's true.
You don't want to get rickrolled like Danny.
that was hilarious, dude. Maybe I should get an A for the rest of the year.
I think so too.
George, give him an A. But
You heard it from us.
Krugade approves this A. But yeah, I've been wanting to get that, and I don't know. Maybe I'll think about getting. Maybe I'll get it and then just wait till May. I'm not in a rush, anyways. It's not like it's not like it's gonna come in handy. I mean, I like this. This has decent, video. Doesn't look as bad, but
No, yours doesn't look bad.
it's like kind of fuzzy. I see fuzzies. Also, want to get what Adrian has right here. This little stick that goes in the sky. A little green screen in the back to cover like my background.
Oh, yeah. I think the thing that's most important, even for like you, since you're looking into getting a webcam, I've seen some streamers who use like really crappy webcams, but if you have good lighting, doesn't matter.
Oh, you see
You
my
know.
lighting? It's
Yeah.
freaking great.
So,
All the
it's
side of my
because-
face looks like the sun is hitting it.
well, I
Yeah.
mean, but at least that's what I mean. You just need to use like a better position for the light and a softer light, and it'll look fine. Of course, the more advanced webcams, obviously, like they're very good at masking that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And distributing light evenly. But I've seen some streamers, man, like they use some simple stuff, some real simple stuff.
I'm not like one to like look at, get expensive stuff. I'm looking to see if I can, cheap stuff that I could just do. Like, I mean, I bought this mic stand for $14. Well, I think I bought it for 20, and it came with a mic. Not this one. I had to buy this one because the other one, it needs power from a power supply that it didn't come with, and then I tried to buy the power supply, and then it wasn't the right one, and I was like, okay, well, I don't know. So I was just like, whatever, and then, so I stuck and I bought this one, which is, gave me problems. Now it freaking works great. So, well, I don't know how I sound to you guys, but I sound great.
Well, you sound much more clear than you used to. Yeah.
Especially this last one, because the last one I had this is the headset I was using for the last podcast.
To speak into?
Yes. Oh, here it is. It's like this headset. It's like
Oh,
this
okay.
little,
It's just
like,
a simple, yeah.
it's like a Triton, and I bought it thinking like, oh, Triton's a great brand. It was. The only problem is this mic detaches, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I don't plug it in correctly, it starts like making noises in my ears, and it starts like it starts just, and then like this, like if you like if I move it, my headset, like my headphones like this, like I can't hear a noise. That one you would like slightly move it or like move your head at a certain like too fast. It would like make like a creaking sound, and it was like, so I would hear that, and then like I already have to split my audio from my PC and my Xbox, so like hearing that and I was like, oh. And then like I had these headphones that that Elsa bought me like 2 years ago. They're great. They're cushion, and I just noticed that like I need bigger ones because these are too small. But I have a big head, and like I've wanting to use these for the PC and then because we have the Xbox streaming on PC now, and we can hear both audio. We can hear Discord and we can hear Xbox. So I bought the adapter for it. It was giving me some problems. I figured it out. At the same time, I figured out what was going on with this mic. Fixed it. Everything sounds fine. Everything works fine. I gave Mason my splitter so that he can use it for his headset. So like I have my headset down. This PC, I don't know. I can see if I can stream with it. And if I have to stream low quality, then I'll do it. I don't care. As long as like I mean, probably not gonna stream like maybe like by myself. I think I'll always do it with you guys. If anything, that
Squad stream.
You were showing us that clip,
Yeah.
that things I barely saw those videos you posted on Discord of the guy, the gulag, the song.
Dude, that shit's so funny, dude.
Dude.
I haven't listened to it.
Yeah.
Dude.
Dude, I was like, but you know how he has a little setup where it was like this.
His
like,
friends,
all
him
three
and
of
his
us,
friends.
all three of them were there. I was like, man, that's
Mhm.
such a good idea when we stream with Adrian or something. Not to like hog on your streaming, but like it's kind of like I don't know. I think it was a cool idea to like.
No, yeah, it is. It is. It's definitely a cool idea. You get to see who's part of like the crew and your best buddies at the same time. And the thing with squad streaming is that it takes a lot of your bandwidth to switch from one streamer to the next, the next, the next. So that's another alternative. Like if you don't want to squad stream, and like if you don't want your viewers to have to switch from his perspective to his perspective to his perspective, just pick one person, you know what I mean, one streamer, and then put all the webcams on there. Make them all fit.
Yeah. Well, you have like, when we play Warzone, we play Apex, or we play one of these games that's like the battle royale. Even if you die, you're still watching my screen or you're watching Alex's screen.
Exactly.
You still have like someone to see, or it's not like just your character like dead on the ground, or you're like that's all you see. So like it works in that sense. Like we can actually like stream whenever you stream, or just stick to your stream and whatever. But I want to have a setup to be able to do that, and I want it to look as good as your camera does, and then we can have our own great little setup.
Oh yes.
So that's more ideas we have in the future. So
Yeah. We still have the podcast name.
yeah, we still have.
We'll
another-
think of that
Google that.
later, though.
Well,
Yeah.
I have one. It's the only one. I don't know how I feel about it because it kind of like isolates what we talk about. But I thought
Okay.
it was such a great name.
You don't say it.
And well, I think it's like look, it's probably not a great name. It's more than likely it's not a great name. Ow. I hit my knee on my desk. But I was
You took
kind
an
of
arrow
like
to the knee.
I did one of those name generators, like the
Oh, okay.
and like it asks like what's the topic you guys talk about the most. I just put
Mhm.
general. We generally talk about everything. Like we talk about the well, right now we're talking about the coronavirus. We talk about video games, even old video games. We talk about things about happening in our lives.
Movies.
It's usually movies.
music.
It's usually general. We're not really a one topic podcast. So I put general because that was one of the options. And then it was like enter the name of the channel, and I put Krugade Inc. Then it was like your name or something like that. Yeah, so it's like, oh no, where you're from. And I put Mission. Or where's your podcast located? It's like Mission. And it like it just shows like all these names and they it's like, oh, this is the Krugade show, this is the Mission show, this is the General show. all that stuff. And so like I have like I don't know if you can see it on my phone, but it's like nope, you can't. But it has like it shoots like nope. Boom, like
There you go.
it shows
Oh.
like all these names and stuff. And
Yeah.
so like and you know I was reading him and I was like maybe one of these will sound cool enough for me. Did it just get warmer in here?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
camera
you're-
got more orangey.
No.
Whoa!
Cool
You hit
down.
the
Whatever. I guess this is my fault. Look at my phone
you hit the
again.
tanning bed.
That work?
there you, yeah, kind of.
Kind of. Whatever. It's the last 7 minutes. Whatever. The camera changed.
Yeah.
So so one of the things one of the names that popped out that I got real excited for was that didn't work, but it was called the Mission Saga.
Okay. Mission Saga.
Mission Saga, and it's like I googled what does like I know what a saga is, but like I wanted to know like the definition of it, and it's kind of like well what it sounds like it's just you know events in the life that you know that's what we talk about. We talk about luckily for us right now we're talking about the coronavirus that's affecting us. You see the first podcast we were together, second podcast we were together with the curfew, third podcast we were in our home recording, the fourth one we were still on our homes recording with issues, and now we're in this fifth one that we're you know still quarantined and we're still on lockdown even though people aren't following it, but so we're stuck here in the house. So that's the name I came up with. And I know when I said, "Hey, everybody, come up with names," and then you guys were like, "Sure," and then didn't.
Yeah. Well, I still have one. I still have that one that I'm writing, but I don't know. I don't want to say it because then I don't want it to get stolen. Not that anybody's listening right now, but still.
You know what? That's
Hey,
true.
hey,
'cause
hey,
the
you
last
never know.
time we came up with it.
Yeah, I was about to say. What
Yeah.
about that other guy?
Yeah.
Not
As
mentioning
far
any
as
names.
we know, they stopped as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I've taken away all of the old podcasts. I've taken the old name off, the new name. They can't even find this if they wanted to find it. So, we don't come up anymore when I type in our old name. So,
Okay.
we can go back to that if you want. Nah. I still like the name we came up with the acronym names. That was still my favorite one. But
Yeah.
we have a AR or ASS. But,
What? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I'll tell you after. We don't want it to get stolen. So,
No.
but we'll come up with a name. We'll figure it out next podcast or whatever. But we have like 5 or 6 minutes to me. But speaking of the case of like this lockdown, you know, no one's listening to this.
I know.
Like
To
I
this
said,
podcast?
like, no, not to this podcast. To the order to stay home, man, and it's really
Yeah,
frustrating.
I know.
No joke. Like, I haven't gone to see my parents and my sisters in like, what? This is our 4th week going on, and
Yeah, almost a month already.
it's like you know I haven't been able to go see my family and everything like that, and like you have people that like are posting that they're with their family. Easter came up, people were posting about their being with their families, being with old people. You could even count there's more than 10 people there, you know, and like when was it on Saturday or Friday? The governor already is putting out an order to open up Texas again, and it's like.
Yeah.
Why? No one is following what was being told of them before. Like, what do you think they're going to listen to now? Like, yeah, it's not like everything's open, everybody's coming back. You know, they opened the beaches in Florida and they open up places everywhere. And look how much people are going. You open up one thing, everyone's going to go to that. It's like, just keep it the way it is.
Did you hear what supposedly what it was that could be open?
What?
We said haircuts, right?
Yeah.
They said haircut places, barbershops, massage parlors, tattoo places. It's like how, but and then they said that you still have to observe the social distancing rules. How are you gonna get a tattoo when you have to be 6 feet? When you
How
have
are you
to
gonna
keep a
get a haircut?
minimum.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
see,
exactly. How are you gonna get a haircut?
I saw a funny meme about that, and I saw some guy getting a haircut using a drone. The guy was like 6 feet
Yes, I
away,
saw that.
and then he was flying a drone, and the drone was cutting his hair. I was just like,
That's funny.
dude, people
That's
aren't
pretty
following
good.
the 6 foot rule now.
No, they're not.
It's like what,
Yeah.
like and it's not like I don't want to go to work. I want to go back to work so bad. I miss my students. I miss, working with them. We just found out some of them aren't returning next year, so it's like I didn't even get to say goodbye to my students. So it's like, I want to go to work too. I have to work at home. I still get to talk to them on the phone. I still get to show them videos that I'm making for them, and it's it sucks, but I have to do what I have to do. I'm sacrificing not seeing my family, and my wife's sacrificing not to see hers. But we're seeing people, and it's different for the cases of you guys because you guys live with your parents,
Yeah.
But you guys have loved ones that you probably aren't seeing, with your girlfriends and stuff. But even now, it's like I know I had enough of it. It's like if everyone's gonna break the rules, like I'm gonna do it this once. Like today was my baby sister's birthday, and it's her 6th birthday. I never miss one. I went to go see her for a little bit, and it's like if people aren't following, you know, rules, you're gonna get people who are like, well, if they can do it, how come I can't do it? And you're gonna have all these people breaking the rules, and it's like I'm trying so hard not to like go out to the stores to go get something if I don't have to, uh, you know, go to see my family. My grandma's already sick with stuff mentally, and with where's why would I want to risk bringing a disease that'll kill her? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like what like if people don't listen and follow the rules, like we're not gonna get out of this. I want to get out of it too. Part of me is like, make this last forever because I don't want to go back to work. But it's like, no, like I want to go back to work. I want to see my students. I want to, I want life to go back to normal. I want to see you guys again. I want to have a barbecue and hang out like we used to. It's
Yeah,
like
for
we
sure.
can't do that. We can't do this show. Well, I mean, we can't do the show. We're doing the show. I can't do the show the way I wanted to, but we're compromising. We're doing this. I actually think this is cool too. This is awesome. Once we get the right equipment for next time, we'll have it done. But I mean, this stay at home, nobody followed it. How is opening it up again gonna help? It's just gonna make the second wave that
It's not.
it comes even worse.
Yeah. The second wave is gonna be a lot worse.
And
And
yeah, like I saw,
apparently Texas is the next hotspot. So there you go.
yeah. Well,
It's like the biggest
that's
state,
why,
and it's the only
like
out
the
of like
biggest
the
state.
three biggest states: New York, California, Texas. Texas is the one that got hit the least hardest. So yeah, you're right. It's gonna hit us hard.
It's
soon.
funny, like when people are like, "Oh, Texas is the highest coronavirus." Like, yeah, because we have the most people in in the United States. What kind of It's like oh, there's the most deaths in Texas because we have more people. They have more people being infected by it. It's like we have more people here than in Hawaii. No shit. That's the Texas is. You flip Texas this way, we're in the Atlantic Ocean. Flip Texas this way, we're in the Pacific. It's like, it's huge. It's like, of course, there's gonna be more people dying from this, people more affected by it. But it's like, do you want
Takes
more
14
people?
hours.
You want more people to freaking die from it? It's like, open up Texas again. They are. By the time this video comes up, they probably already reopened it.
Yeah.
Texas is so damn huge. 14 hours to get from the bottom to the top. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
it's just like, I don't know, man. That's kind of like what's been bothering me. Just I hate looking at the news and like I have to because we need to know what's going on, and you know, uh,
it's it's like I see both sides. Like I know what the governor's trying to do. He's trying to help everyone who's all the businesses and people who are hurting because they don't have a job. And I know he wants to do it the right way by still keeping theaters and stuff closed. And if things get better,
well,
I know he
theaters are
wants to
gonna
open
open.
them.
Theaters
No,
are
no, no. He
literally
said
gonna open.
he said the way he wants to do it is it's in a phase. If the numbers grow exponentially, he's never going to open them, obviously, until this gets way better. But as of right now, if it's only like 5 or 6 new cases in every region of the state per day, that's obviously a small number, which means to him it's worth opening a theater or a bowling alley, but still can only have a limited capacity. That's what he wants to do. But if it grows like crazy, he has no choice than to shut it down completely. And I see both sides. Like I see his side that he wants to help everyone by doing it, but at the same time, people don't listen. Like they're not
Yeah.
listening to
See,
the guidelines.
like
Like
I
if everyone was
understand.
doing the social distancing and wearing their mask and not seeing people that they don't have to see, then it wouldn't be a problem if the governor wanted to open up a small portion and let people have some fun, because let's face it, everyone out there is fucking suffering. Everyone.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's
You
like
can't
we
go to the
said.
movie theater, you can't go to the bowling alley, you can't do anything fun. And
Yeah,
I know he's just trying to help, but at the same time, if we're gonna make it worse because we're not following, not I'm not saying we as in us three, but
Right.
the people are not
Collective.
following the rules
what
that
are you
are
trying to
supposed to
say, huh?
be.
Who do you think you are?
The people are not following the rules that he put out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're the ones that are gonna make it worse, even though the governor is just trying to do a good thing.
yeah, and I'm
You know?
not getting mad at him. I understand his situation with,
Yeah.
running the freaking biggest state in the United States, but it's like I don't know. I don't know if maybe in Austin and San Antonio they're doing great, or Houston they're doing great. That it's like, well,
San Antonio's doing better than us. I know that for
well,
sure.
but it's like, look at these smaller. At least open the cities that are doing their part in it. Like, yeah, maybe I don't know what the numbers are now for the mission. I've kind of like stopped looking at that, but it's like, like if I could send him pictures of like, look, dude, I went to this freaking Dollar Tree yesterday, uh, and I was just getting some little stuff like a quick little in and out. And like on the sign in front of the door, it says, "If you do not have a mask, you will not be permitted to enter the building." Whatever. That I love that. It's cool. I had a mask on, and I went in. I went and grabbed my stuff. I stood in line. They have tape on the line of the 6 feet you're supposed to be apart. Everybody was following that line perfectly. I went down the aisle I was supposed to go to. Well, I went to go see like if there was more soaps and stuff, hand soaps and whatever.
Right.
And then they have the dollar snacks, stock up on candies and all that stuff. And we went, and you just see like this lady there, dude. She took her mask off, and she's there like sniffing candles, and it's like, like, what are you doing, dude? And then like it's funny because you have like a kid who's there, and he's like, he has his mask like covering his mouth, and it's like, man, I don't know. It's just like, how are you gonna open up if no one? If I shouldn't say no. I know there's people following the rules. I know there's people doing the right thing, but I think the majority aren't following it because they're like, well, no one else is doing it. Why should I? And then you have the protesters doing it too. It's just like,
Hmm.
I know, dude. It's so stupid.
You don't have to. You don't have to look very far to know that people aren't following it. Go to your local uh, hardware store, and you'll see a bunch of people that shouldn't be there. You know,
yeah,
I'm at Home Depot every day. I'm Koi's every day. I'm at Lowe's every day. I see people. There's a long line in the paint store. In the paint section, and like 80% of the people there are not contractors. You can tell just by what they're wearing. You know what I mean? It's husband and wife just looking at, hey, I think I'm gonna paint the house today, and it's like, dude, are
we
you for real,
see,
man?
like we knew right before lockdown we were gonna paint the house. We knew that's the only thing we were doing spring break. Not paint the house. We knew in spring break we were gonna paint like parts of the house that were needed painted, and then we knew the bathroom was gonna need painted. So we bought all that before like the quarantine got worse. So like
Mm-hmm.
we never went. We went to the warehouses for a little bit before all this happened, and we were able to get what we needed, come back home, and we've been home. You know, luckily some stuff we can order online and it comes to our house. Also, and then my dad works at Lowe's, so like
Mm-hmm.
if anything, I always ask him like, "Hey, can you buy this for me?" And when you come home, I'll pick it up later. And that way, not that I'm risking my dad. My dad works there. My dad has to go there, so it's like,
Yeah.
instead of risking more people get infected, he's helping me out by buying me stuff I need.
By minimizing the risk
Yeah.
amount going. Yeah.
And even like he's even bought me food, and I didn't even ask for him. Like, hey, don't. I didn't say like, hey, buy me food. He's bought me food and brought it to my house, and it's like, yeah, you didn't need to do that. We were fine. And he's like, nah, like, he goes, I know. He goes, you can never say no to more chicken. You can't say more to more rice, more beans. It's like that stuff. You eat that every
Good
day.
point.
It's gonna run out. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, there's people trying, and there's people like, that are just like, oh, just gotta get out of the house. It's like, oh my god, you're
Yeah.
gonna make this longer if you get out of your house.
If you really want to get out of the house, I
Yeah.
mean, you can walk your dog. You can walk your dog around the neighborhood. There's nothing that says you can't do that. You can go for a jog around your neighborhood. If you really need to get out, you know what I mean? Or, I don't know, drive around and go for a little cruise. But when it's curfew time, don't drive. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Um,
Hashtag
but-
curfew, the first podcast.
yeah. But the hardware store bit, I'll
Don't
make
even
it quick.
get out anymore.
The hardware store bit, it's just pretty crazy, man, because the hardware stores are pretty much only open for contractors and for emergencies. Like if your pipes break and you know how to fix, if your toilet goes bad and you know how to fix it yourself, you go buy, the things you need to fix it. Like that's what they're open for. But of course, they're not going to tell you to get out of the store if you're not an
No.
essential business because they want your money.
I
But-
know, even like that lady was like, she even went to the register with her mask off, and they still charged her, and they still walked out the store. I was like,
No, I've had people. I've seen like cashiers get pissed off at people right then and there, and hey, put your mask on, and then they get all upset, like, why do I have to wear it? And then they say, okay, if you're not gonna put it on, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave, and then they leave. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
Stupid.
Yeah.
But
Well,
now that we've reached the end, of course, like always, if you made it this far, leave a hashtag. Or actually, don't leave a hashtag. I'm gonna tell you what to leave in the comment section. If you made it this far, comment hashtag.
You said no hashtag.
yeah, I know.
Hashtag. There you go.
Hashtag don't put a hashtag. There you go.
Hashtag don't put a hashtag. That's what you need to comment down below, so that way I know that you made it this far.
All right, so we still have that 40 or 50% now of people that are watching this aren't subscribed. Hit that subscribe button. I even made a little animation. Click.
Subscribe.
Click.
We know who you are. You lurkers that haven't subscribed.
We
can see your name. So yeah.
And hopefully you
call
like
you
this
out.
video, and yeah. All right, so that's the end of that. I think the announcer's gonna call us off. Time job. Oh, yeah. But yeah, we'll be back next week again for another podcast. Thank you for the viewers watching today's. I'm blown away by the numbers. I know it's only 50, but that's a lot for one day for me. So
Yeah,
Thank you.
it is.
thank you.
Hope it keeps coming.
Subscribe if you know what's good for you.
What he said.
Okay.
Okay, so bye.
Bye. I get the last one.